Right, welcome back. We're starting day 4 of our tour. It's Sunday morning. It's about 9 o'clock. We had a very comfortable stay at the Hotel Garni am Hürtgenwald here in Braunlage in the middle of the Harz Mountains. It was fine. It was comfortable. It was £36 per person per night, which is the most important thing. But anyway, we are getting ready to go back on ourselves, which is slightly depressing, doing the reverse of what we did yesterday. 250 miles of Autobahn, but we're staying somewhere I'm quite interested in, very near the Hürtgen forest, which, as you may have guessed it, some war stuff happened there. Otherwise, I wouldn't be bothering to go there, but there's some good roads there as well. So we've got a fairly boring day, 4 hours of Autobahn, which will hopefully pass by in the blink of an Augen, and we might be able to have McDonald's for the first time as well, because we went to 2 yesterday and they were bloody shut. But anyway, I won't show you the Autobahn bit. I might show you McDonald's because that's exciting. You should see what I can do with a McFlurry and a kebab skewer. But yeah, then we will get some twisty roads and do some war stuff in den Hürtgenwald. Bis später, meine Freundin. Getting camper as this trip goes on, sorry. Right, it's 20 past 9 on a nice Sunday morning. It's colder than it blooming looks though. I've got the vents open on my jacket. I'm wearing jeans, summer gloves, but I've got my heated grips on, and my nipples are doing their best impression of a hole punch on my Gore-Tex jacket. But we've also discovered one of those strange anachronisms about various parts of Germany. We found a nice bakery, but like quite a few places in this region, if you turn up wanting to pay with a credit card, they look at you like you're an alien. They don't take credit cards or debit cards to pay with. I can't be bothered to walk to a cash point this time in the morning, so breakfast is going to be petrol station special, which probably means a Snickers. But yeah, I still can't get over how beautiful this place is. Just having a gentle morning cruise out of the Harz Mountains to join Das Autobahn for a few hours. But yeah, look at this. I'm reasonably aware that I've got cold roads and cold tyres, but it's still lovely. With the sun pouring through the leaves onto the road like a water fountain at school being squirted in the eyes of your bully. It's lovely. It's a bit like you're riding through one giant majestic centre parks, but without lots of rich people. You join me 6 hours and 250 miles later from my last bit of filming. It's been an Autobahn day, really. It's about 3:30 now, and we're just getting to our next hotel in the village of Nidingen, or near Nidingen, near the Hürtgenwald, at the edge of the Eifel National Park. And it's suddenly getting really hilly, and all the bikers are back out, having not seen many hills for a while. We're back in Curve Country, which is probably an American website for redneck MILFs. But anyway, here we go. Some hairpinny things, excellent. I still hate downhill hairpins. So the plan this afternoon is just have a little explore. Might go for a little walk and see some of the West Wall stuff. All the German bunkers and defences that were built around here. As far as I understand it, you can't walk far into the woods without tripping over them, or possibly even some landmines. There's a massive battle for about 4 months between 1944 and 45 here, between the Americans and the Germans, and it was very bloody, very cold, very muddy, and tanks weren't much use either. And it was a bit of a bloodbath on both sides, to put it lightly. And apparently, if you want to build a house here on new land, you have to get the bomb squad out to come and sweep it for landmines. Apparently there are still minefields here that they've not cleared because there weren't any good maps, and also, I'm going down here, sorry, and also they were using wooden and glass mines, which can't really be detected by old mine detectors. But anyway, I'm going to park up at the hotel, chill out, and maybe go for a wander and show you what's what. Right, Sunday afternoon, I've just had a power nap. Did I mention that I'm getting old? It's 5:30 in the afternoon / evening, and I'm going to the woods to try and find some of the bunkers of the Hürtgen forest. I'm not sure what I'm going to find. Lots of the roads are closed, so it might be a bit of a pickle to actually get somewhere where I can walk up into the forest without having to walk 1,000 miles in motorbike gear. So once again, this is an area of Germany I've never been to, and it's a historical event I don't actually know a huge amount about, other than it's a fairly significant battle went on for months and months and months, and apparently the Germans kept it a bit secret because it obviously took place on German soil earlier than the Germans wanted to admit that the Allies were on their territory. So yeah, but there's it's over a huge area. There's loads and loads of fortifications and things. The bits that are shut, I think at the moment, the roads are closed because there's tons of wind turbines being built in this area, and I think they're building more, which is why they've closed the road that I want to use. Just sehr inconvenient. I am loving this. Smooth hairpins, slightly cold tyres. Alright, we're in the Hürtgen forest. I parked my bike about half a kilometre back there, and I've come on a fairly flat footpath into the woods, because if you want to find remnants of the Battle of Hürtgen forest, you've got to be prepared to walk, and I'm not exactly wearing walking boots. I'm in all my bike clobber, so I'm not going too far, but I'm promised that down here there is one of the remaining bunkers, from the German bunkers. But yeah, to give a bit more context than I did on the bike, hang on, a bit light there. Now, to give a little bit more context than what I just did on the bike, this battle raged from September 1944 until February 45. It went on for a very long time, and apparently it's the longest single battle the US Army has ever fought in history. It went on so long, and it was properly horrible fighting, not just because, as you can probably see in a minute, the terrain is quite steep and it falls away, but it was really dense tree cover, so the Allies couldn't use their trump card, which was air superiority, to help them out. And yeah, in the, what was it, kind of 4 or 5 months of battle, the Americans lost between 33 and 55,000 men. The Germans about 28,000. So it was a proper meat grinder in here, but you just wouldn't know it walking through here today. It is so peaceful, and I've not seen any traces of it yet, apart from the fact that I've gone really dark. That's nothing to do with the war. Hang on. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I think the bunker that I'm coming up to is just a water bunker. It's nothing particularly interesting. To get to the real fighting bunkers, you've got to walk quite far now that the roads have been shut. But honestly, it's a stunning place to come for a walk anyway. Now, I think this is fairly obvious, but I would have been absolutely rubbish in a time of war, because I've literally just walked straight past it. It's kind of nestled here at the side of this path. But yeah, this is just a water bunker that the Germans built, I believe. And there's a sign on it saying, please don't go near it or in it between certain months of the year, because bats are nesting in it. But yeah, it's your classic common or garden German concrete built structure. It is chunky. Now I've just climbed on top of this little water bunker, and there's a little ventilation tube there. Definitely going to fall on my arse going back down there. But anyway, I'm going to keep walking, I'm going to go back to the bike, and there's one other little area that I want to check out. Now, I'm going to admit it, I'm going to be the worst Hürtgenwald tourist guide ever, but I have just stumbled through the woods and found some concrete. Yeah, I'm on top of an old bunker, I think. It's mostly buried in the forest with a few bits of fence around it to stop you falling down the holes, but this was all part of the West Wall, which was a defensive line the Germans built in 1938. We're running basically down from Belgium to Freiburg in the corner of the Black Forest as their anti-invasion defences, or part of them. But yeah, it's just interesting what you can stumble upon when you get your words out. Am I going to fall over? Let's find out. But anyway, I have really just seen a teeny tiny bit of the Hürtgen forest. I haven't really got time to go properly exploring, but I will definitely come back, because the roads around here are pretty good. There's some slightly dodgy road surfaces, but it feels a bit black foresty, some of the roads, lots of hairpins and things like that. And you've got plenty of museums and history to see, and you're in the Eifel National Park, which, as we all know, is home to one of history's greatest things, the Nürburgring. Right, I'm lost. I'm going to find my motorbike, call it a day. I'll see you tomorrow for the last day of our trip, when we explore more of the Eifel Mountains and head home via Belgium. See you then. Where am I? Hope I don't step on a shoe mine. You won't be able to see up there. There's a really nice castle on a hill. I mean, what do you expect? It's Germany. Purveyors of the finest Schlosses of Burgs in the world. Yeah, I'm quite a happy boy tonight. So beautiful and peaceful. I haven't killed my friend David, by the way. He's just back at the hotel having a beer. Didn't feel right dragging him around some forests to look at bits of concrete that you can barely see sticking out of the mud. That's my own peculiar perversion. Look at that. It is lovely here. I'm not sure I've mentioned it, by the way. It's the second week of June. So Europe's just come out of like a month of absolute torrential rain, lots of flooding. And I moved this trip back a week for other reasons, completely unrelated. My mate who runs Visor Down came here last week and was got very wet. We've not had any rain, touch wood, down there. So yeah, big fluke. Normally I'd rather go in September because I think the weather's a bit more stable. But, you know, I'm coming back in September as well. Yeah. Don't tell my girlfriend and children. Last man feeding his horses next to a level crossing. Might move here, to be honest. Do you think they've got Domino's here? That's the deal breaker. That man's got the KTM. He knows what's good for him. So far, I don't want to do a complete summary of this tour because it's not over yet, but it's been a longer tour than I would normally do, but I've been out an extra day, to be honest. And as far as my plan to test the MT10 out as a tourer, it's gone so well. I've done some proper long days on the Autobahn there, such as 420 miles on the first day of the tour. And yes, my bum was a bit sore, even with the comfort seat. But that comfort seat is getting squishier. But it's just such a lovely, confidence-inspiring bike on twisty roads. And I choose my touring bikes for fun rather than the long stretches, and this massively delivers on fun. The engine is a peach. I love the fact that you can happily run first out of hairpins and then go a bit bananas. It sounds great. It isn't too loud yet. And the handling, although it's not razor sharp, it is so confidence inspiring. On warm tyres, I've been faster cross country on this bike than on any other bike I've brought to Europe, including the M1000R that I brought out here last year, purely because you've got so much more drive out of corners. You don't have to wait for a silly top end. And yes, I'm slightly at the stage where I wish I had a little bit more power, but that's really just some wishful thinking there. This is enough. It is more than enough on UK roads where I'm a bit more worried about the speed limits. I couldn't wish for a better bike. I just couldn't. I love its blend of comfort. It is just ridiculous. I'm 6'3". I shouldn't really fit on a naked bike like this, but this is just built for normal sized people, slightly fat blokes like me, who want to go out, have some fun, and see the world. I'm still not convinced this screen makes a heck of a lot of difference. It doesn't give me annoying wind blast though, so it's staying. My longer mirrors that I've put on it from the Tracer 7 mean I can see what's behind me on the Autobahn without having to contort. That is actually quite a big deal, actually, when you've got, you know, Audi A6s coming behind you at 155 miles an hour and then you want to race them. The fuel range, I've been getting 120 miles to the fuel light, and then I think I still had 4 litres left when the fuel light came on. So I think a real world range of probably 150 miles is absolutely doable. That's cruising, fast cruising on the Autobahn, doing about 100 miles an hour average. But I'm struggling to find fault with it. There's no annoying vibes. Perhaps the riding position I wish was a little bit sportier, but it's absolutely perfect for the kind of riding I do. I've just really loved doing lots of 9-car overtakes, hearing the noise, having little wheelies in second gear and third gear, just power wheelies, the occasional clutch up, there's tiny little ones that I do. It's such a joyous thing. And then you've got the whole side of it where I'm not worried about it starting in the morning like my KTM. I'm not worried about the electronics giving me a load of jip like the KTM, even though they never did. It's just such a good bike. It's a keeper. I'm going to say it's a keeper for at least another year. You know, the looks are Marmite, but as a touring bike, if you want a fast tourer, don't overlook this bike. It is thrilling. I could have done this on a Super Duke R and probably not had much more fun, to be honest, and probably had a few annoyances. So yes, MT10 SP as a tourer. I've got one more day, unless it shits itself tomorrow, in which case I'll update you. This is a fantastic bike, and I have turned it into a sports tourer. I mean, it wasn't far off. I just put the comfort seat and heated grips on it, really. The cruise control is very handy. It's just very confidence inspiring. I would say the OEM tyres, the Bridgestone S22s, they won't last more than 2,000 miles, so they're not ideal for touring. but stick some more sports touring rubber on it, like some Road 6s, or as I've done, the Metzler Roadtech 02s, and you've got a machine you can have an absolute blast on. And the quick shifter blipper is really good fun still. Let's rail around here. Hello, my name is Hans. I would be going faster on a GS, but that's not who I am. That side of the tyre felt really cold. Well, I'm just being a fanny. So yes, tomorrow we head back to Calais, but we're going to try and have some fun on the way. We've got 4 hours to go. The train's not till 5 o'clock, so we've got some fannying about time, and I fully intend to fanny about a little bit. I've turned the wheelie control off for the first time ever, so I'll probably have crashed this by the time I report back. Look at that. This is our hotel, the Hotel Restaurant House Mühlbach. It's David Street Triple RS, look. All the dead flies on it. Yummy. Yeah, I've got them on mine as well, to be fair. Lots of bug jam. What a beautiful place to sit. I think it's about 45 quid a night each for a single room. What's not to like? Well, possibly dinner. They might poison us. I've not had it yet. Anyway, I'm going to have a beer, some food, and I shall see you tomorrow. A great day. Isn't life good when you're on a motorbike in Germany? Yes, it is. Oh, fuck off. Good morning. Welcome to the last day of our tour. It's Monday morning. I'm by a river. And to be honest, it feels like a good time to end our tour because we've got our first grey sky of the day. And today the high is going to be about 13 degrees C, which is about 10 degrees less than we've had for the rest of the tour. But yeah, we're just checking out of the hotel restaurant Haus Mühlbach, which is near Schmidt in Germany. And it was okay as a hotel. If you're coming here, all I would say is that we sat down getting ready to have dinner at 7. They said, actually, we're not doing any food tonight because you two are the only losers here. So we had to put our bike gear on and ride into the next town to get dinner, which is another place I didn't take cash. But anyway, that's more about me not being prepared. But yeah, I slept about as well as a mouse in a combine harvester last night. Not particularly well, but it's a reasonably short day back to Calais today. We're going to cut across the middle of Belgium though, and taking some of the sites, some of the places that I really like in Belgium, such as Dinant and some twisty roads I've never done before. So we're not going straight to Calais. We're going to have some fun on the last day, and I'm a great believer in ending your tour on a high rather than just a dreadful trudge back to Calais, which is what I used to do, and it makes you get home in quite a sad mood. But anyway, let's go. See you in Belgium. That's what she said. Probably in Belgium. Right, we've stopped for breakfast in the village of Hürtgen, which sounds like, but isn't the place where they invented that unit of radioactive measurement or something. But it's about to rain, so we've had to don the sexy rain suits. David's got this sexy all-in-one number from BMW Motorrad catalogue. I think that was autumn-winter 2009. Very beautifully modelled there. He's melted the knee years ago. Yeah, BMW Motorrad. And I've got my slightly baggy BDSM trousers on because I'm still wearing jeans, but hopefully the Risha Armada laminated Gore-Tex will keep me dry. Right, you join us just west of Malmedy. We've just gone past the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, and it's, again, keep saying this in this video, a really nice part of the world to come to. Lots of nice old buildings, lots of forests, ooh, some tunnels. And, oh my gosh, so I'm distracted by all the things, including that Sierra Cosworth in the window. I've actually had to use my brakes, that's disappointing. Right, got fuel, and we're now heading to Dinant, which is a very pretty village on a river with a massive church. Only problem is, for some weird reason, there seems to be a black hole of time in this part of Europe. And we've lost an hour somehow. I don't know what we're doing. We're only going to have half an hour for lunch before we really need to hot-foot it for the Eurotunnel. This is the thing, essentially at some point you have to give up on the fun roads and just get on the motorway. Yeah, on the N96 now. It's a bit more Belgian in terms of road surface. It's a bit mixed, but it's good fun. It'll be a good adventure bike road. Some good bumps to test your suspension, but also some great corners as well. Right, some slightly damp weather testing of the Roadtech 02s that I've got on. I've got a visor covered in rain. The road's a little bit damp. And I've still just got the confidence to not attack, but corner kind of reasonably quickly around some of these Belgian bends. You join us in sunny Dinant. Things have got very Belgian, they have been for a while. It's very wet and it's getting a bit chilly, it's about 10 degrees. But look, beautiful Dinant, there's a bridge here, somewhere to dump our motorbikes for a bit and maybe have a spot of lunch. Wonderful, they built a church into a bloody wall. And you're not going to knock me off. Is he coming out or going in? At least cobbles aren't slippery. Right, I'm going to call it here. This is going to be the end of this tour video because this tour started in the bright sunshine, beautiful twisting Belgian roads, and we're going to end it in the mud. Right, that's it. The tour's over. My GoPro ran out of battery about 6 hours ago because, like a professional, I left it recording while I was eating a pizza in a restaurant in Dinant. But anyway, all you really missed was 2 hours of some of the worst rain I've ever experienced on a bike trip coming back through Belgium. For about 10 minutes of standing water everywhere, I couldn't see more than about 30 meters in front of me, and somehow I didn't get soaked thanks to my Gore-Tex gear and my waterproof over trousers. My t-shirt got a bit wet where they meet, but other than that, it's been an amazing trip. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope it's been interesting. My MT10 has been absolutely brilliant, apart from getting through fuel a bit, which I knew it would. So yeah, I'll do a full roundup of the costs and everything in a separate video soon. But yeah, if you're interested in going touring on your motorbike this summer, JFDI, Just Frogs Do It. Yes, that's right. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye. I need to sleep once I've got home. Yes, we are back. It's been 2 weeks since the trip finished, but I just wanted to fill you in on the costs for this trip and a few notes about my bike. I've ridden it for the first time since I got back from the trip today. Haven't ridden a bike in 2.5 weeks, getting a bit stir crazy. Getting back on this today, just to come down here to film this, has brought back so many great memories of the trip already, but we'll get on to that. Let's talk about money though. How much did I spend on this trip? I realise these things aren't cheap. They're certainly not free. I went away for 5 days. Here is what I spent. The first thing I spent money on was £92 of Eurotunnel tickets. Yes, you can get the ferry, but I don't really like strapping bikes down. It takes a bit longer. It's a bit less convenient for me because the Eurotunnel was only an hour and a quarter from my house, and it's not that expensive. I booked my Eurotunnel in February, originally for May, and I moved it a week into June. It cost 92 quid. And that's for a 5-day short stay saver thing. And even though it's the cheapest ticket type, you can move it almost indefinitely. You can't cancel it or refund it, but if you do change your mind, the weather's crap, you can just bump it for free, basically. You have to pay any increase in seasonal pricing, but whatever, 92 quid. Pretty decent, I think. Next thing, the big cost for the trip is obviously hotels, and these are the costs for a double room that we paid. First night, Trier, most expensive hotel, it always is. We always stay at the Ibis Styles, or I do. £135 for a night for a double room, but you are in the middle of Trier, which is a beautiful city. It's really bustling, there's loads of beautiful buildings to see. We bombed most of it, I think, in the Second World War, so you can go and congratulate the RAF on that. But also it's a really good burger place. It's just a nice first night stop, £135. Second night, Mersey, kind of near the Dambusters Lake, that was £104. Had a fancy restaurant, we didn't use it, we went and got a kebab. And then the Harz Mountains, we stayed in quite a basic B&B. It was a room for 4, there were 2 of us. No food, no breakfast actually, it's not really a B&B, just a B. £72 for that. Then the last night in the Hürtgenwald, £89 for an okay in-hotel type thing. They were bastards though, they closed the restaurant without giving us dinner, which was a bit of a pisser because we were in the middle of nowhere and had to ride 10 minutes when all we'd really wanted to do was have a beer. £89. But you can divide all that by 2 to get per person price. So in total, I personally spent £200 on hotels for this 4-night, 5-day trip. Add the Eurotunnel and it comes out at £294 for Eurotunnel and hotels. I don't think that's that bad. Now, then you have fuel costs on top of that. 1,600 miles we did. My MT10's a bit thirsty. I've looked at all my receipts. I spent £253 on fuel. I averaged 42 miles per gallon, but this is thirsty. It does like a proper drink. So your fuel costs if you're on a street triple would probably be more like 220 quid, something like that. 16p a mile this did. So anyway, excluding food, you've got £294 for the hotels and Eurotunnel, add the fuel, and it comes out Grand total, £550 for a 5-day trip on a motorbike. Not being particularly cheap about hotels, not riding particularly sensibly either. I don't think that's bad, £110 a day. Now that does exclude food, which is up to your personal preferences. We tended to spend about £20 per head for a meal in the evening, things like that. But for the experiences, the fun, the general hoonery, I think that's not bad. And I'm going to get another tour out of these tyres easily. I don't need a service for a while. I'm pretty happy with that, 550 quid for one of the best trips I've ever done. As I said, it comes down to personal circumstances, whether you think that's good value. But really, for me, touring, it's the best money you can spend on a motorbike. I don't want to get too whimsical and misty-eyed, but for me, I feel like a different person when I'm on a motorbike going around Europe. I feel like I leave lots of the bullshit of the world behind. I don't mean my family, I love them, but you're just in it, you're focused on getting from A to B on a motorbike. Yes, there are stresses, there are pain points along the way, forgetting your rucksack, or what a knob, things like that, but by and large, you forget that stuff when you look back on it. You remember the places, you remember the corners, you remember the roads, you remember the banter, I hate that word, that you're having with your intercoms, and then you get back home and you don't ride for a little bit, and then you get back on your motorbike and you think, actually, do you know what? I want to change my motorbike. I wasn't happy with X, Y, or Z. Or, if it's this bike, you fall more in love with it. So it goes either way with your bike, but you certainly get a greater bond with it, and it might just tell you that you want something a bit different for your next trip, something comfier, maybe something sportier, maybe something that does more than 2 miles per gallon. But no, I'm keeping this. It's been a beauty. I've taken the top box off it to give it a little rest, but me and the MT10, we're going back to the Vosges Mountains in September. I'm going to do more war stuff. It's going to be a bit more chilled out of a trip. We're not going to be doing such big miles. We're staying in one place. Don't know who's coming yet. Hopefully my dad and a mate or two, and I'm going to find some more First World War and Second World War stuff to bore you with. But I really do appreciate you watching. These videos are my least successful ones that I ever do on YouTube, but I just don't care. I love doing them. I like doing the military history stuff. I like reading your comments. Thank you so much if you watched it. I mean that, because yeah, it's a holiday for me, but I'm glad that some of you guys have been inspired to go and follow in my wheel tracks and go and have some fun. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up there because I'm going to start waffling and crying about how much I love my motorbike. I'll see you next time. I'll be back here doing bike reviews very soon, and then stay tuned. More trips coming later this year. I've been Tim. Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, and yeah, screw that one particular German hotel that didn't want to serve us food. I'm not bitter. 999.